Alright YouTube, this is going to be a bit of an experimental video. I'm climbing down from the chair because I was looking up at the camera, setting it up on the tripod for an unboxing. I have the tripod up on the desk so it's nice and high, but the problem is I cannot see what I'm filming. So I have an idea of where the camera's aiming and that I'll stay in the shot hopefully, and we'll see how it comes out. That's all I can say. I haven't done an unboxing in a while because I haven't bought anything in a while. I have too many radios. I have enough radios for now. In fact, I've started selling some of my larger ones to make room, but I love working on them still. And one thing that I really like is meters. I have a love for meters. I just think they're cool. And I use them. I do use them. I use all my meters in one way or another. This is a little meter, and this meter is from England. They're made in England, and I didn't buy it from England. I bought it from somebody in the US, but it's from England. So it's a leather case. It's a small one. It's called an Avo Minor, and they're made in England. And I've mentioned Ray. In fact, I talked about him on my last video. And he is the guy from England that has worked on radios his whole life. I'm trying to get this so there's no glare now. He's worked on radios his whole life, and he did a little video, talked about different meters that he uses, and he uses one of these on his desk. It's a basic small vintage meter made in England. It does voltage and does ohms. And one inherent problem with these, and he mentioned it in his video actually, is that there's no over voltage protection on them. There's no fuse. So what happened in them over the years is people would and it goes up to 1,000 volts. I doubt that that'll show up on the video, but the gauge, it goes up to 1,000 volts, and then it has, of course, low settings too. And people would not turn it to the right setting and put high voltage through it, and you'd cook them. So I have another one that's shot because of that very thing. I bought one from England a while back, and this is it. This is the one I got from England. And I paid considerably more for this one. That one was cheap. And it did not come with leads. And it said, you know, unknown working condition. And I bought it figuring I'd take a chance because they're hard to find on eBay. I've seen very few, and I've watched them on from England as well as from the US. They never come up that often. And it's a nice leather case. But this one, I couldn't really file a complaint with eBay because the seller was not an electronics person, and they were selling it as found, not guaranteed to work, not untested, as found. Well, this has the burned out circuit board, and I don't know this will show up on the video, probably not. But you can see that circular circuit board, which is actually underneath here, underneath your switch. And there's traces on it. The traces on this meter are cooked. And not only are they burned, but they're lifted, and some of them are completely vaporized. So this meter never worked from the day I got it from England. But this one has a very nice meter face, which isn't going to show up well. I'm trying to get this so there's no glare. I'm not even in a place where there is a lot of glare up here near the ceiling. That has a great meter face. The other one's kind of beat up, so I'm thinking between the two of these I should be able to get one good meter. And you're wondering about the other one, I'm sure, as I was. I told the seller when I bought it, I said, you know, these things are known to be ruined at times. Can you open the circuit board and let me see inside of it? And they posted pictures of it, and it was not cooked. So I'm not going to open this now. I'm going to do a video on this when I restore this. Between the two of these, my plan is to get one working Evo Miner. See better this unboxing. So this is the next unboxing. And this came up at a very good deal, very good price. I had been looking for one of these for a while, and there's a number of them on eBay. They're not extremely rare. They come up. Not like the Evo Miner, which never come up. Those are the only two I've ever been able to buy in a year, over the past year. This one is also a meter, and why I bought it. And I think its significance will become clear in a minute. At least I'll discuss it. Pretty well packed. Yeah, they did a decent job packing it. I was surprised the box was so big. Wow, look at that. Well, I give this person high marks for packing an electronic thing. You can tell it's a pretty good size. And they've even got styrofoam all around it. So it was very well packed. I have to give them that. Boy, I bought so many radios and things over the years off eBay that are packed so horribly and damaged. I've had plenty of damaged ones because, you know, people that know nothing about electronics will buy these old tube radios at estate sales, and they'll drop them into a box with a couple of pieces of bubble wrap around them, and that's all. And they think that's just fine. And sometimes, I've had it more than once, where they put the radio down in the corner of the box and then pack bubble wrap on top of it, or peanuts on top of it. The thing is, the radio's against bare cardboard at the bottom of the box. Well, that doesn't work out too well when the thing gets dropped or bumped on the side where there's no packing. It's got to be like this one. This was floating in the box, completely surrounded by styrofoam on all sides, so no matter what side it got hit by, if it got dropped, you wouldn't be hitting the object inside. One good one, I had a Radiola 60, which I still have, that I'm going to restore. It was in perfect condition. It looked great. Fortunately, I didn't pay much for it, because that's exactly how they packed it. And they're heavy. They're very heavy. They have a big transformer and a big power supply with these huge metal can capacitors. They weigh a ton. And it was in the corner of a box, packed around it, and it got dropped, and the whole corner of the cabinet was busted. And it's made out of wood. It can be repaired, but God, it was annoying. Anyway, I digress. Just chatting while I open this. This is possibly familiar looking to many people if you watch YouTube. Jim Lindeness has one of these, and he uses it all the time for alignments. It's an AC voltmeter, and it is made by Valentine Laboratories. It's a 300A. And I think it's the same exact one he uses, same model, quite often to do alignments, although lately he's been doing alignments with his software-defined radio. So, I think, no, it's just I heard something rattling, but it's just the cord scraping the side of it. The one advantage of this camera being up here is I cannot focus in on things. I'm going to pause and take it down and look at this. Which I guess I could have done with the Evo meter too. That would have been smarter to do. Now we're down here on the desk. This one, I have no leads with it, but it's not a big deal. It just uses regular banana plugs here, or you can even put a wire, wrap a wire around the lug, but banana plugs plug into these. So they're standard leads, and I have bunches of those. So this is an AC voltmeter, and the thing you use AC for is you put it across the audio circuit, and it picks up the modulations of the radio when you're doing a alignment. They work great for that. And these date, I believe, from the 40s. Not entirely sure, I don't remember. This one came from a company, and I looked them up because I was curious about this label on here. Telex Lumen is a company, and they must have used it in their company. And it was last calibrated in 1963, and it was due to be calibrated in 64. And there's another label up here. I'm not sure exactly what they did. There's a couple references to this company online. Some of them are in reference to hearing aids, some of them are in reference to lenses and projectors. So I think that's probably what it was, something like that, where they would need electronic test devices in the factory to test their products. It wasn't clear to me. Yeah, this has been stamped, and this there wasn't a real good picture of this on eBay. You can see the ink. It's a company logo, and I was hoping to be able to read it better, and I think it probably has an address underneath it, and I'm sure it was just a stamp that they stamped it with, and I absolutely cannot make it out other than the ink. I was hoping it would be more legible close up. Maybe Loren? L-O-R-E-N? Maybe? Don't think it's Telex. Doesn't look like Telex. That doesn't matter. This one I'd like to open on camera and look inside. It appears that we have a bunch of screws on the front. I'm thinking these four brass screws, and they are brass. Good quality. If I remove those, I think we will be able to slide the whole front out of the case. I was impressed. I looked this thing up on, and if you search Ballantine 300A, you'll find it on the Antique Radio Museum. They have this one on there, and I was impressed with the inside of it. I was amazed at how robust this thing was for just being an AC meter. It is a professional lab quality AC meter. It wasn't cheap in the day. I found references to this on the Antique Radio Forum. They are used quite often for alignments, not just by Jim Lindenus, but by a lot of people, because they were good quality, lab quality meters. And even though I have other meters that do AC, I always liked the one that Jim had. And I always thought I'd love to have one of those to do alignments with. And this one came up really cheap on eBay with reasonable shipping because I knew it was fairly big and heavy. And anything big and heavy is expensive to ship. Yeah, I think we're going to come out. Yep. Can I do it with one hand? That is the question. I think I'll do it eventually. Oh, I hate to put the camera down and pause it, then I gotta edit it again. There we go, I got it. The more video clips I make, the more editing I have to do. Yes, and it's as impressive as I thought. Look at that thing. It's just, and this is a cardboard too. It must have slid off something. Oh, the bulb. Yeah. For just being an AC meter, isn't that thing impressive? Huge transformer. Look at all those electrolytics. Selenium rectifier. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tubes. Talk about a VTVM. And this thing, I don't even know what that is. That's interesting. It's a plastic, oh, I think there's transistors in it or something. Look at that. It even says TRAN, and nobody writes transistors on a transistor, do they? I don't know what that is. Let's see what this says. It says Ballantine Labs inspection. No. Oh, cool. I gotta try to get this on camera. I don't know what it is, but it'll be interesting to find out. I downloaded the manual for it. Valentine Laboratory, Boomtown, New Jersey, that's where the company is on that piece of paper that's coiled up in there. Something special or spec? No, it says special. Focus. Special something. And there's handwritten values on it. 0.35 to 0.95. I know I'm not going to get it on camera, so I'm just looking myself. Sorry. 0.95. So it's 0.9. It's 0.35 to 0.95. It's a calibrated unit. No doubt. They must calibrate it to work with the meter, so the meter's calibrated. Whatever type of calibration device that thing is. I'm not exactly sure, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure. Well, maybe that's off there. It's the only thing down here that I see where that cardboard would fit. It's kind of weird. But that is very, very well made. I was told it works. I don't know that I'll do any restoration to this thing. We'll see. That's a lot of electrolytics to have to replace. And I know there's more underneath because there's a big plate. And that's, I mean, look at the screws on that thing holding it together. I'm not going to open it on camera right now. But that thing is beefy. There's some kind of a plug which doesn't go, well, I shouldn't say it doesn't go to the outside. There's a plug here. You could unplug that and put something through to it. I wonder what it's for. I'll have to find out from the manual. I'm not equipped at the moment for this video to get the manual.